Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast, your top automotive refinishing podcast with your hosts, Corey Kleinfeld
and Ryan Brewer. Enjoy the show, guys.
Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast. Today we have a repeat guest because high demand. Actually, pause the intro. Ryan Kaye had the most downloaded podcast episode ever. That's the only intro I need to give you. Above every other deck guy, every other interview we've had, Ryan Kaye, you win so far, unless you get past. So brought you back on for round two, sales training 2.0. Welcome, Ryan. What's going on? That's my intro.
Not much, man. It's great to be back. I know it took us a while to do this, but let's hope, like Beetlejuice 2, that it was worth waiting for, I guess we'll find out when it comes out, but let's hope it sounds good.
That's awesome. So just to start, I know we had some news coming through the Restore FX centers that we're all aware about. Wanted to bring you on the podcast, talk about sales training, but wanted to take a moment just to talk about something important. So if you just want to talk about what happened and how maybe people can help with what's going on, that'd be great.
Yeah, a very long partner of ours and a very solid team member, the owners of Restore FX Almaty in Kazakhstan. Unfortunately, their neighbor's shop caught on fire, and in the process, the guys ran in, managed to get the cars out, and luckily nobody was hurt, but they lost the entire shop and all of their supplies and all of their materials. So obviously we want to try and help them out the best we can. Kazakhstan's the type of country where insurance companies are not really prevalent. They're not there very often, and businesses are not required to have any kind of insurance at all. And most insurance companies can't be trusted anyways. So this is all coming right out of their own pocket. So as a company, we came together and we decided to have a charity raffle where we're going to be giving away some Restore FX product and some Clear FX product to first and second place. And if you want to donate, we'd love to. If you're not part of Restore FX, obviously we'd love to accept any donations you have. But if you are part of Restore FX, you can go into your e-store, buy a raffle ticket for $10, or you can buy up to 100 raffle tickets if you want for $10. And your name's put in a draw for the Restore FX product and the Clear FX product. All proceeds will be going directly to Restore FX Almaty. We're not keeping anything. So the draw is on July 17th. So your deadline to enter is 12 a.m. July 16th Pacific Standard Time. So get those orders in, buy some tickets, and good luck.
Yeah, so that's what's up. It's weird to even think about other countries not even having the option to have insurance. That would be such I think I have like 10 different kinds of insurance in America, right? In Canada, you have like life insurance, business insurance, health insurance, car insurance. Like, I like insurance. I'm insured. Like, I know that I can come up with $500 or $1,000 or whatever deductible I have, and I things will be fixed. Maybe that's not even a fair statement, but it's easier than just starting from zero. So, yeah, I mean, $50, $100 if you get that from 100 different people, that's a life-changing amount of money, or a business-changing amount of money. So,
yeah, especially in places like that where the supplies we use readily, like we can just go to the store and buy more supplies. They have to plan ahead, ship in, takes months. It's not like FedEx is doing overnight to Kazakhstan.
Amazon,
so. Yeah, exactly. Jeff's
That's
not there
true.
very strong. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So yeah, it's obviously a bummer that happened. I'm sure hopefully with the money and the supplies, and what do they do? Have to build a shop, or do they find another place? Do they own it? What is there leasing? I don't even know. There's like so many questions.
They were leasing the location.
Okay, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, so they do have their eye on another location, but obviously, first and last, and then they got to buy the sanders, the lighting, Restore FX product, polishers, all the other stuff that comes along with running a center. Yeah. So, and they were also had just arranged a deal to be the head office for the Kazakhstan area. So they were going to start training 2 other licensees in Kazakhstan. So this came at a very inopportune time for them. So they were just about to have 2 people underneath them. So,
dang. Well, it all happens for a reason, I guess. So hopefully they find a better location and
whole brand new shop. Yeah. I think it'll be a blessing in the end, I'm sure.
It always looks that way. Sometimes it takes a lot of years to figure it out, but
yeah. But I'm pretty sure with everything we all knew now, if we looked at our shops, we go, man, if I knew now what I knew then, like I would have done this way and that way. And so now they have the chance to do that. Unfortunately, it's not their choice, but just gratefully nobody was injured.
Yep.
True. And it's their neighboring shop too. That's the whole area burned down. It's not even their own thing. It was just that's a bummer. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Well, good luck to them. And we put an order in today for some raffle tickets, and we encourage the rest of you guys to do the same. We got a couple weeks to do it, so plenty of time.
Awesome.
All right. So if I were in Kazakhstan and I needed to start all over again, here we go, blank slate, right? I know they have the sales relationship still, obviously, but how would you start a center, Ryan? Someone brand new starting, just signed up. Ryan Brewer and I have talked to a few other guys who are just starting. What's the first thing that you do to start off the sales training 2.0?
Oh, well,
day one.
Number one thing is, and it's the biggest problem that I'm facing right now with a lot of guys that are coming in from different industries, whether it be detail, PPF, PDR, going hands off. You can't control everything. You guys are so used to being hands-on with every detail of your business every day. You need to start letting go and trusting the team you put in place. For some guys, it's a matter of they've never even had a team. It's always just been an army of one and maybe somebody on the front desk. But you have to let go and trust your team to do the work. You need to do what you're good at, which is using your relationships to get the vehicles in. But then you need to trust these guys are there to do it for you, and that they're bringing the problems to you before they're out of control. But it's really difficult for a lot of guys in your industry to really start to go, okay, I'm going to do something else, and I'm not going to be overly involved in every single aspect of it. I have an overseeing approach, but not hands-on.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a fantastic answer, honestly, to start it off. And we've talked about it. We've talked about it a bunch of different times. That's the difference between a job and a business.
Right.
Straight up. I mean, owning a business is something that you can walk away from, or not walk away from, take time away from, not be there that day or maybe that week or something, and things still work. That's a business. Most of us has really good paying jobs where we're hands-on on everything. We make a very high income, but it's still a job.
Exactly.
We're just also the boss.
Yeah. But like a perfect example would be, and I know we've talked about him multiple times, and he's even been on your show, Dave Butte. Dave's still out there doing his job. He's still pulling dents. He's still doing taking care of the dealerships, everything like that. But he's got his team in place, and he doesn't feel the need that he has to be back there all day making hands-on decisions for every aspect of it. He has to install the cars. He has to. If he did, he wouldn't be where he is now because he'd be burnt out.
Right.
It's just he doesn't have that many hours in the day. A lot of guys that come to us are thinking that, I need to have an alternate form of income, an alternate stream of income so that I can have more of my life back. But you're not going to do that if you're going to be so hands-on and micromanaging of every aspect of it that it never goes hands off. You're just doubling your workload.
I'd say patience is another one, man. I'm dealing with. I know who he knows I'm talking about. I'm sure he's going to be listening, but patience. This definitely is not. I explain it in a good way where this is not something that's easy to do as far as the application process of applying Restore Effects. And if you think that it's going to be something easy, then everybody on the corner would be doing it just like paintless dent repair, right? If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Restore Effects is something that's definitely a skilled labor, not as hard as PDR. So be patient with your guys and really get into the training aspect of it. Because I think we have some guys struggling with that now, but just coaching them through. As soon as they learn the patience, everything starts to come together really well.
Well, and to the reverse side of that, it's getting them cars to work on. If you have a guy sitting there that's on a pay plan based on taking on Restore Effects, or he's going to be, and you're not out there getting cars in front of him to work on every day. There's only so long he's going to sweep up the lunchroom and clean the bathroom before he's like, I'm out of here. And then you're starting from scratch again. Right? Get them cars, put them in front of work, and let them practice their art. If you were a PDR guy and it's like, okay, great, I'm a PDR guy. Let's go do some PDR dents. Oh, there are none here.
Yeah, we wouldn't learn, right?
You wouldn't learn anything. So it's like, if you're hiring a guy and you're making that commitment, then it's your responsibility as an owner to make sure he has work to do. So you have to put that extra 20 minutes a day just to go get him a car to work on, whether it be your neighbors, whether it be a shop car, whether it be, hey, Mr. Used Car Manager, well, I'm popping these 6 dents on this car. What if we try this product on it and tell me what you think?
Right.
Just that's a lot of what I hear. People go, oh, it's kind of slow. I haven't been getting very many cars in. It's like, oh, how's your dent side? Oh, we're gangbusters. I'm so busy. I'm this, I'm that. It's like, so you know how to do it. You're just only sticking to what you know. You're resorting back to what you know. And it's, you got to put yourself out of that comfort zone. You have to hire a guy. You have to get that bigger shop. And now's the time to do it when you guys are busy and making money. Because in about 4 months, I'm going to be calling everyone in there. Oh, I can't afford to do it. I don't have any money. The money's not coming in right now because we're slower. Right. So it's a matter of do it while you can, take the risk, do it while you can, and then you'll just figure out how to afford it over winter. But you're not going to spend the extra in winter to grow.
And I think understanding your strengths though too, because there's, like you said, there's guys out there. We're a lot of times we're talking to specifically PDR technicians, but there's PPF guys and detailers. Some of which listen to the podcast. Just majority PDR guys. They have a skill that they're good at that can make a lot of money, and sometimes, like you said, they have their PDR skill, and then they have the front office manager person that's running the stuff. I would say understand the skill set that you have, because if you're going to start a Restore FX center or move into that, and you either don't know how or don't want to do the sales for it, and you have a front office manager, make sure they can do the sales. Make sure you can man the front office while they spend 2 or 3 hours going to the dealership. Someone has to do that. It's the inevitability of any business. Yes, the product sells itself, right? It sells. Well, I mean, it does after you go get the car, bring it in and show them it, but you got to get the car first. Like it does sell itself after you do the job, but someone's got to be out there doing it. And so I would say that know your strength. If you just want to be a PDR guy, and then make sure someone can sell for you. That's what I would say. Yeah.
100%. And one of the things we've started doing as a company to help people in this is on our e-store, I actually have pre-written hiring templates for either a technician, shop tech, lead tech, or even a sales manager. So you can actually just go in there. There's social media posts that you can take and just put straight onto your social media. There's actually hiring ad copies that you can use and put straight into your hiring, into Indeed or whatever Workopolis you're using. So we're doing everything as a company we can to give you those strengths. So there's no excuse, because you can't tell me you don't have 5 minutes a day to just start to focus on your own business. If you're always working in your business, then you're always just going to be exactly where you are now, because you're not working on the business. You have to take that time. And if I was to say, people are, it's so busy, I don't have time. Everybody's got 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, just to place an ad, answer a couple emails, something to do, order a new product, whatever it might be. But you need to make that time 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, just to do something to progress your business. Right. You got to.
I didn't know you had the hiring templates. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's new. It's awesome. We're looking at it.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all in there. They're the operations manual area, and you go in and it says, hiring for staff, and we even have everything in there from, tax forms to if you have a friend that wants to come and work from Mexico, we even have, immigration type help forms to get them in. Like, there's everything in there. We put it all together so that a shop in the U.S. has everything it needs to start working.
Nice.
Or at least get the people it needs to start working.
Yeah. That's very cool. Good stuff. So day number 1. So make sure you have someone that can sell for you, whether it's yourself or your office manager. I want to lead into the retail. I get this question a lot when I talk to potential Restore FX centers. Is it all wholesale based, or is there a retail market for it? I have my own answer, but I'm curious if someone asks you that, Ryan Kaye, what you would say.
Until the last couple of years, it was predominantly wholesale. And the reason was, for lack of a better way of putting it, the low-hanging fruit. It was easy. You go into a used car dealer that's a Ford store. The guy has 200 cars on the lot. Can you easily get 2 or 3 of those a week? Sure. Out of 200, no problem. The problem is now that Ford store has maybe 40 cars and a lineup of buyers to buy them all, whether there's a milk crate for a driver's seat or duct tape holding the headlight in, right? Like they're selling them. So it's harder for us to justify getting our product on the cars now. That's not to say it's impossible, but the majority of our clientele base for the first time in the history of the auto industry has shifted to retail. People are keeping their cars longer. They're buying them out at their end of their leases. I have a guy in here just the other day that says, oh yeah, I'm going to be returning my lease. I just want to get the scratches fixed. And I said, no, you're going to be keeping it because it's a Range Rover. Sure enough, he came back 2 days later and said, it's 6 years to get one. So he's keeping his truck. So now it went from just hide the scratches to make it perfect again. So his expectations went higher. So that's how we ended up getting the business out of him. But retail right now is the highest it's ever going to be. And it's such a huge focus. It's something that we really need to put a lot more attention into. Even in the PDR industry, you guys know your retail tickets are double what the dealerships are paying.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why people are so attracted to things like PPF films is because the tickets are high. You charge $2,000 to wrap a whole front end on a car. It costs you $800 in product. Big profit.
Mm-hmm.
Restore Effects has that profit level to be even more profitable if you're doing 3 cars a day retail, but people just don't focus on it. They look at a single car product, but
Mm-hmm.
a full front end wrap on a PPF is a 2-day job. I can do 4 Restore Effects jobs retail at $1,000 each on average a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of getting that retail client base into your shop. Even if you don't do wholesale, the retail will come on its own.
Yes,
we
sir.
have one shop that started about 40 days ago, their first month, and they did 50 cars this month, all retail. In their first month, they did 2 wholesale cars, and the dealers were like, yeah, it's great, but I can sell it as is. And they haven't touched wholesale since.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And they've made record profits compared to most centers.
Yep. That's awesome. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the ways to find what are the ways that we find retail work?
There's only one way. It's word of mouth doesn't work anymore unless you're in a really small town.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Lafayette, I'm sure word of mouth helps, Ryan, but you're not.
Oh, no,
guys aren't banging down your doors all day.
Yeah, it's actually the #1 way to market your business where we're at.
Is it word of mouth?
I swear. Yeah, word of mouth. It's crazy how big it is for us.
Man, I got to get down to Lafayette.
It's just it just takes time though.
Yeah,
it does, but you'd be surprised, man. We'll do one job, and then in that same week, we'll have 3 or 4 of his friends either contact us or come in to. They're not inquiring about Restore Effects. They're coming in to schedule because they saw their friend's car, right? People talk. Everybody knows everybody's business out here. You fart wrong, and everybody knows about it. So that's just the town we live in, which it's a good and bad thing.
Sure.
So we're. Marketing definitely helps for sure, though.
Yeah, you definitely need to market. Like if you're in a place like Sacramento, like Corey there, or Brampton, GTA, like me, Toronto, word of mouth could take eons to get your reputation out. So you have to advertise. Forbes magazine said the average advertising rate for just maintaining your current business levels should be 10 to 15%. If you want to grow your business, they talk about numbers of about 30% of your monthly income, and not profit, income spent on advertising. And that's for rapid growth. So I took a look at my shop and I said, okay, I've been spending $1,000 a month on social media marketing. Based on what I'm making, I'm spending about 0.5%. No wonder I don't have retail banging down the door.
Right.
So I decided, let's really give this a test. I'm a guy that's going to put my money where my mouth is. So I stepped up to the highest level of marketing we could with our company. And I am on average over 40 messages a day on social media. And right now we're collecting 30 email lead inquiries through the pre-filled form on social media where they actually give us their name, phone number, model, make and model of car, and schedule an appointment.
Per day?
Per day, to the point that like the first half of my day now is helping my sales manager answer all these leads because he just doesn't have time to handle them all himself.
Well, give us the juice. How are you doing, dude?
I hate to say it, you got to spend money to make money. You got to.
Yeah, but for Restore Effects centers, what do you have for us, right? We have something in Restore Effects that helps with that, right?
Yes, yeah, we have a full dedicated team and dedicated marketing division. We're developing high-level content with a company that worked with Porsche, Honda, Lexus, Toyota. They handle all of their social media accounts as well in marketing. They're working directly with us. We're doing an entire Did You Know series, high-level directed communication on exactly. And the biggest problem is not explaining what Restore Effects is. The hardest part of marketing Restore Effects online is explaining what Restore Effects isn't, right? Because everyone's, oh, is this wet sand? Oh, is it ceramic coat? Oh, is this a film? Are you painting it? So we're addressing all of those concerns through our marketing. When we first started our marketing program, a lot of the leads I was getting, I would say 30 to 40% were inadequate leads, pictures of like broken bumpers. Oh, how much to fix this? Or,
Right.
hey, I need a ceramic coat, or just my interior detail. So we weren't targeting right. So we went back, redesigned the entire program, refocused our efforts on messaging, making sure we got the clear content out, came back, hit it with a vengeance. And I can tell you right now, I get one inquiry a month for interior detail. And that's only because my Google says I'm detailing, because they didn't have a proper category to put me under.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with I'm sorry, Corey.
No, go for it, bro.
That's the thing with Restore Effects, is that it's a very visual difference in product. So it's like we're all trying to figure out how to market Restore Effects for people to understand what it is and isn't at the same time. So you guys are helping with that, right?
And also every
For
PBR
sure.
tech at the same time is like, because we have the same problem.
Right. Well, that's what's cool. I think the PDR industry is actually going to learn a lot from Restore Effects on how, we're going to get the name out there on the national basis, right?
Market the visual service.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just it. Like, I know there's always been this, let's just show the product being installed. And there's a reason we don't want to do that. And we figured out creative ways to let people know what and how it works without actually showing install now. So we've managed to figure all this out. One of the other things we started doing, because I was doing research into this, is there's an unwritten algorithm in social media. And this goes to everybody that's listening right now, that it's understood that the average person's account, so Corey opens up his account today, he can withstand 30% advertising content before he starts to get annoyed. So that's what Meta uses as its algorithm. 30% of Corey's feed is going to be advertising, 70% will be stuff he actually cares about. Because of that limited amount that they can advertise, what they show a guy that's very active in social media or very quick to buy things on social media is they send them things that they know are hyperactive companies, i.e., I don't want to show Corey a product for something that if he inquires, they don't answer. Perfect example. We had a company that showed up doing dry ice cleaning on subframes. I was like, that's awesome. I'd love to get my car done. I have a classic. How much? That was 3 months ago. I still haven't heard. Right. So, and this is not a small company. This is like one of the largest racing division companies in Canada. And they still haven't answered my inquiry of how much to get my car done. So in that situation, what happens is Meta drops you and starts putting you lower down the priority list. So Corey's feed is filled with 30% of high value advertisers. And now all of a sudden Dent Pro USA wants to advertise, but he's not updating his social media platform. He's not putting posts in regularly. His message answering is slow. Well, they're not going to show that to Corey. What they're going to do is wait until they get lower down the list to people that they're not sure what they're into because they're not hyperactive on social media. And they're going to go, well, let's put this in front of them and see how they react.
Nice.
All right. So your ads are going to people like my parents who are just there to catch up on me and my sister's kids, right? So you're not getting that full build in. So part of what we built into the advertising program with Restore Effects now is we actually schedule post 3 to 4 posts a week. 3 of them will be video style stories, reels, that sort of idea, and 1 static post. So we're going to take care of your weekly requirements to post on Meta to kick your algorithm into super high gear to put us in that same category as Pepsi or Pizza or McDonald's, that's how active we are. So when you spend $1 of advertising with us, instead of Meta trying to figure out who your audience is, they're going to put it in front of the audience that's the most active. So we take care of that as well. We're all busy business owners, and trying to throw together a post over dinner while, the kids are screaming and you're trying to, hang on one second, I just got to put this out on the world. And we take care of it. It's all professional made content. We have thousands upon thousands of posts we can use, so it's not going to double over. And it's going to make your page look like it's hyper active, and it's going to add a level of professionalism to the page because you're getting corporate made content that's really uniform with other centers. So, if you look at local McDonald's, let's say McDonald's Sacramento, they're going to have all their corporate McDonald's advertising and posting that's being handled, but every once in a while you're going to see a picture of them at the local school having a hamburger day, right? So now you're posting cool cars that came into your shop or a new hire that you just made, but it's surrounded by all this corporate entity. It's adding an air of humanism to the company, but also that there's a massive corporate backing while kicking your meta algorithm into the highest level it can be.
Nice.
Pretty good explanation.
It is, dude. It's so good. Every time he explains something, it blows my mind.
Damn. Is it just Facebook?
So, well, let me
just
a side step to that. One of the most important things I ever learned. So I'm actually a PR major in school. That's what I got my diploma in, was public relations. And one of the most important things said to me in my first week there was, it's not the listener's job to understand. It's your job to make sure you're understood.
Yeah.
So you need to explain things in a way that people are understanding, because if they don't, they're just going to go, oh, cool. Yeah. And just move on.
Yeah. If they're not like if they don't have the marketing smarts or exactly. Understand. Yeah. That's interesting. So and honestly, when you think about it, it makes sense from a business perspective. For Facebook, you can track the people who buy the most stuff. So you take the advertisers who are paying the most and give them to the people who are buying the most stuff, because then they spend more money and then more people buy stuff and you make more money. Like it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Obviously. And so all of us that have every dent guy, including myself, that didn't post on Facebook for 2 months and then ran an ad for $100 or $300 and got nothing.
That's why
Ryan's mom was looking at it, apparently. With Ryan's parents were looking at it. Didn't work.
Nope.
So yeah, it
was going to people that they didn't know.
Yeah, they got on Facebook for 12 minutes a day instead of 60 minutes a day, and they've never bought anything once ever on Facebook because they don't trust it or whatever. Interesting. Is it just Facebook or Meta products, Facebook, Instagram, or is there a wider?
Facebook, Instagram. No, it's all of them. It's TikTok as well.
Okay.
Right.
And
it's
all the visual ones. Not. What about Twitter?
Twitter doesn't have it as much.
Not visual.
Twitter.
Yeah.
No, and right now, because of everything that's going on with Twitter, it's kind of up in the air. Nobody really knows how the algorithm's working because everything's being reinvented in the background, and nobody knows what's happening with it. Mm-hmm. So it's actually one of the social medias that's suffering the most. Mm-hmm. The most active is TikTok. Yeah. But the most safe, bare bones sort of, like if you were going to go out and you're like, okay, I'm going to get a TV, you're going to want CBC, you're going to want NBC and that sort of stuff. So, TikTok would be more like the paid channels, like I'm going to get, the upgraded paid Superstation, whereas these are your basic cable packages so that you at least can watch it.
Are you doing, are there Google ads in there as well?
Google ads, not so much. When you get a RestoreFX website, SEO optimization is included in the website. So we take care of all the SEO optimizing through that. And then we use it as a group product as well. So, as Ryan Brewer's account in Lafayette starts to get more SEO optimization, that just transfers automatically to mine in Toronto, to the one in Bellingham, to the one in Sacramento. So we're just constantly building on those together. So even if you have your own company and you have your own website, if you have the opportunity to back onto a corporate website where they're doing all the background work for you, it's definitely worth it. Mm-hmm. Definitely worth it.
Very cool. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Do you use a CRM? I know you do, Ryan Brewer. Do you use a CRM, Ryan Kaye, for your business or anything like that? Not yet. I guess my question is, if I'm advertising on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., email. You said email inquiries potentially. Can they be fielded into one spot, or is it just
Yeah, actually, and that's sort of, you bring up a good point, because until I got onto this marketing program this way, I didn't realize the crack in my armor was I didn't have a good CRM system.
Yeah.
And now I'm realizing, I'm like, well, all these guys that I should be following up with that are like, okay, give me a day to think about it. And I'm like going through 300 messages trying to find, I need a CRM system. So now I've been shopping for a CRM system. Okay. A lot of them. And I'm not going to say which ones are great, which ones are bad. You know, obviously everyone has their preferences. The one thing I'd look out for is, does it sync with QuickBooks? Because a lot of accounting firms use QuickBooks. A lot of businesses use it for billing. But also a lot of them now advertise that they sync with Meta. So as people are filling out your inquiries on Meta, it's automatically going into your CRM system.
Yeah. Yeah. So I use a CRM system, and I don't have TikTok, but Facebook, Instagram, my website, email inquiries, my chatbot on my website, phone calls, and text messages all go into the same feed inside of there. Yeah. So, and I'm guessing we could, if we signed up for this, we could spend some time to hook all that up, obviously with the marketing department, I would imagine, to get it, to make it
absolutely
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So are you answering all those, or you have like, you said you used to have people send you for interior details. What are the quality of the leads that you're getting now, and the potential close rate, if you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So when you deal with online marketing, you really have to be a lot more liberal on your closing rate, because people know they're being hard sold. So they're not going to close as easy as, say, like a door-in referral or somebody that walks into the shop. They know they're being blasted with something that's trying to get them to buy. So the closing rate is a lot lower. A very, very high closing rate on social media is considered anywhere to 5 to 6%. So if you ran a campaign for McDonald's for, 99-cent ice cream cones for the weekend, and you had a 5% uptake on ice cream sales, that would be considered by McDonald's marketing program as a massive success. That'd be a huge success. So people need to take that into account. If you want to close 5 retail a week, how many leads do you need coming in if it's a 5% closing rate? I'm closing right now, just because of the uniqueness of our product and our abilities, and the fact that people are keeping cars they didn't intend to keep. I'm right now closing at around an 8.5 to 9% closing rate.
Wow.
Which is considered really strong.
Mm-hmm. And you're hopping on the phone with all of them?
No, a lot of them I'll keep messaging them through social media. People will typically reach out to you the way they feel comfortable. Yep. Some people will come right in. Some people will call you. Some people will email you. Some people will message. If they leave their phone number, that's an open invite to call them. But if they don't, then that's their way of saying, I'm comfortable communicating this way right now. And as a salesperson, your job is to chameleon that behavior and answer back with them.
Are you asking for pictures or videos?
Absolutely. If they're like, oh, I have this scratch, I have this mark, send me a picture. I'll do what I can. Give you a rough estimate over the phone or over the chat here. Obviously, I need to see it to confirm, but this is roughly what you're looking at.
That's awesome. So you're taking inquiries, asking, either messaging or calling, potentially asking for pictures or videos, and then giving them, I guess, the options from there. You could say, okay, we could do the single panel, just do this one scratch repair, or if there's more scratches on, 3 panels, you just do the whole vehicle. Here's the price for that. Are you giving out? So with my Restore Effect, we do a majority wholesale currently. It's like probably 90-10 or 85-15, depending on the month. And are you able to give exact prices for retail, like Restore FX cars? So if it's like, are you charging like per size car? If it's a truck, it's $1,100, or are you giving them ranges over these messages? How are you doing that? Just out of curiosity.
Restore FX is a bit simpler than PDR, right? Like,
yeah. There's not like 52 factors that.
Exactly. Is it on an edge? Is it on a seam? Is it this? How stretched is it? Restore expects the straightforwards. It's the price we charge. So, let's say you email me and I have a RAV4, how much? I just say the price is roughly $900. And this is my exact response to every one of them. The price is roughly $900 for a RAV4. This is going to include all of your touch-ups for any damages that are through the color code. This is the entire exterior painted surface of the vehicle. It also includes a North American guarantee at any of our over 100 locations in North America. Stop. Then I start another sentence, because if it's one big long sentence, people won't read it.
Yeah.
Do it in small ones, right? The whole process takes 24 hours. Bring your car one morning to me by 11 o'clock. You get it back the next day by 11:30, ready to drive and looking virtually showroom new. Stop. I'm currently booking for Thursday. How does that work for you?
Mm-hmm. Assumptive close type of thing.
It's a friend of mine explained it to me as the add to cart, because you'll get these messages at midnight. And if there was an add to cart button, he's like, I'd push the add to cart button. And then the next day it's like, oh yeah, I ordered that. Oh, well, okay, here it is. He goes, but if I got time to think about it, the next day I'd be like, I don't really need that. And I wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So I give them the add to cart option.
Do you take deposits on, because we're having a pretty big issue with that.
Lots of centers do. They'll take deposits, and it's really straightforward to get. Like, it's just like, okay, great. I just need your name, phone number, and here's an online link to just fill in the deposit. But if you're going to be doing deposits, you need to do it through a secure web system, because if somebody's organizing this all through the internet, they're going to want to use a web system. They're not going to want to call you and just give a credit card number.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's just all through Facebook Messenger or whatever. Yeah. So it's whether it comes from a branded email, or you can say, go to our website.
Well, Mobile Tech RX, you can actually send them an email.
Right? With your logo and everything. You can do that. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But it's just, however they reached out to you is how they're going to want to do it. If they called you on the phone, you're like, cool, I just need a card number to go put the deposit. They'll no problem giving you the card number.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so, to hold that place, stop the day for you. And I mean, I hope you guys all listening can translate this into every other type of service you're selling, because it's all the same stuff for the most part. With painless dent repair, there's other options. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go to it, so I'm always giving a range. But that's one of the benefits, I think, of Restore FX, is that we just charge by the size of the vehicle, pretty much. And there's not the factor. I know that F-250 is going to take me longer than a Camry, and I charge $200 more because of that. There's more painted surfaces. So that's pretty, there's really not too many factors. So you can confidently say, a RAV4 is $900 because that's the size of RAV4. Now, if they get into specifics of how good will this scratch come out, that's an in-person consultation, I assume, at that point, right? Like, let me see it.
Yeah. And in the beginning, we really tried the whole, obviously we want to help you out. Please come by for a no-charge consultation. Come by for a no-charge consultation, We're trying to get them to the store. And so the guy that's running our marketing division is actually a friend of mine. And he said, my age group, 35 and younger.
I ain't going nowhere, dude. I want a number first.
Well, that's what they said. So I got to go there twice. So I was like, well, let's just give him a number then. It's advertised on my webpage.
Yeah, you can find
I can go SUV. Oh, there it is. Like, why am I keeping it secret now? It's just like, hey, here's what it's going to roughly be. But I always put roughly, until you're here, we can go over your vehicle together and I can let you know your expectations. Yeah. But by that point, they've explored their other options and they've decided to go with us anyways.
Yeah. Or they didn't. Or the price is just way too high for them no matter what. They thought it was $200. Yeah, they thought it was a wipe on thing they saw on the internet. You wipe that little thing on and the scratch disappears. Right, $100.
Exactly. All those infomercials you see.
Yeah. I mean, we do
easy payments of 55.
Done.
So my manager, new manager we just have in here, we were just talking about. Yeah,
that guy's awesome, dude.
He's awesome. So he comes from the wheel and tire industry, and the types of clients. Obviously you get them from a range of really low end to really high end. They explored I hate not to say like 4-pay payment plan, but they have companies out there that you can get like almost like a firm, right? A firm, you can buy the company, our Restore FX Center collects the money, and then that customer has the option to do a 6, 12, 24, 36 month payment plan, right? I think their first year doing it, they did over 2.2 million in sales just in that one company, that one option. So it's like, how many customers are we losing? Because I mean, to be honest, Restore FX isn't always for the really higher end customer, right? We have different services for them, like ceramic and correction, right? So the customers who may not have that type of money up front, but have it to be able to put it on a payment plan, do you think that's a good option to explore, Ryan?
There's always options, right? Like that's going to apply a lot more, especially to guys that are doing, PPF films and vinyl wraps and everything. So they're doing a Restore Effects treatment, and then the guy wants to put the vinyl wrap on it, and then he wants to ceramic the vinyl. Now you're talking a $4,000 bill. That's up there.
Well, I mean, even a $1,600 bill with Restore Effects and Clear Effects and executive package is pretty. Yep. I mean, for some of the clients we're going after, that's a high bill for them. Yeah. So we're just looking at that to see if that's an option for us.
The couple things you want to look at if you're going to go down that road. One is, no, it's not a bad thing to offer a payment plan. People like payment plans. But I always like to look at the payment plan option as to a couple things. One, how much of my money are they getting? Because they're going to take a percentage. It's same as an ATM machine, credit card machine right on your desk, right? They're going to take a piece. So how much of that am I giving up in order to offer their service? Second of all, how does their financing work for my client? Because at the end of the day, if my client's getting charged 60% finance or screwed around on the payments for any reason, they're not going to go after affirmative. They're going to come after me, right? So I want to make sure that this company is on the up and up and has a legit finance plan that's not 22%, closed-ended. Like just make sure that it's a very solid plan. If it is, then there's nothing wrong with offering it. Customers
I'd rather
make it more affordable.
Yeah, as a business owner, I'd rather give up a little bit of money to get my money now than wait 60 and 30 days for dealership wholesale stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting,
yeah, but I normally, if a customer asks me about it, I typically say, like, put it on your credit card. It's going to be less interest, and you still can pay it off whenever you want. You're better off paying your 18% on your credit card than the 42% this thing.
Yeah, then you get points and all that stuff for it. So you get
exactly.
more benefits, yeah.
So I have a personal question that I think other people can benefit on too in my business. So right now we started out, I hired the guy. So I did listen to the advice that, be hands off as soon as possible. So I got my guy, he's full-time. He's doing typically 1 car a day. Sometimes we're doing 2 cars a day. But we have sometimes drop off pickup situations that make things difficult. But anyway, so 1 to 2 cars a day. We're scheduled out with wholesale, like right now, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Cause I went to sell yesterday and they're like, yes. And I was like, oh shit, which is happening more. It's good. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but they're like, yeah, when are you gonna get it done? I'm like, you just gave me 5 cars. So, anyways, so I need to hire somebody, right? Obviously. So I'm going to use the e-store stuff. I need to hire somebody. I want to start the ads. Like, this is a normal business problem. Like, I need to hire the guy to do the wholesale stuff too. I want to start the ads for the retail, but I don't want to get so much retail that I'm either hurting my wholesale or saying 2-3 weeks for retail. What's the advice on that situation? the age-old question of business, if you have any advice on that.
See, conversation earlier of, now that you're making money, expand, get your team in place, get a bigger shop, make it so you can do it. If you're this busy, that's your sign. The sign when you expand is when you've left money on the table. Yeah, that's when you grow. And right now you are.
And I know I will, because I know a couple of these cars are going to be gone when I go to get them, and then I'll find other cars or whatever. But like, we'll make it work. But I know it's
and 10, there's days. 3 or 4 guys that have driven past your dent shop that were on their way to a detail shop to spend more to get half as good of a result. So the money's there. Now's the time to grow. But the way I normally recommend it is, dealerships are great, wholesale are great. They're always going to be there to help you when you need them. But if they sell a car, it's not like they feel bad that they sold.
No, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I would rather have my retail in first. I always focus on them first.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
I'd agree.
And then the nice thing about wholesale at that point, because like we went to where we had 2 weeks of predominantly retail business coming in and like 1 wholesale a day. All of a sudden, a dealer that's been strong arming us for about 6 months was like,
hey, where you
guys haven't been coming in? Yeah. I got a bunch of cars here. It's like, oh, well, we're busy, man. Yeah, well, when can you fit one in? It's sold next week. What? And then we went down and he gave us 6.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I need those spots. And then when we went to go get one that was sold, he goes, no, I'll find another one because I need this spot. Okay, take that one.
Well, that's them learning from putting themselves on the back burner. You put yourself on the back burner and then you want to get put first. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Let me bend over backwards for the guy that gave me a hard time all last year. No.
Right.
For sure.
So,
right.
Yeah, this would be the time to expand, Corey. This is where you got to go. Okay.
That's
I need to either keep my shop as PDR and open a separate RestoreFX location, or go close to the area and get a bigger location that I can handle both. But it's also, putting more faith in that guy that's working for you. Hey, okay, we're going to put a team in place, but that means you're going to be more on a sales role. I'm going to take you around and train you that. So you're going to need to have somebody you trust to prep all these cars while we're selling and picking up and dropping off.
Yeah, that's the conversation that I had with him yesterday. Basically, it's like that's the next hire is basically, a prep tech first, and then he'll learn to apply by watching the first 10, 15 cars, and then maybe get some hands-on the wholesale stuff, a couple panels here and there, and like kind of train him up that way. That was my thought process on it.
Yeah.
My piece of it,
shaking your head.
That's my piece of advice is if you are doing a hiring, I tend to lean towards people that have restaurant experience.
Have restaurant experience? Never said?
I avoid detailers because they have bad habits that they can't break.
Yeah.
But restaurant guys are used to doing things repetitively over and over with high consistency to a high quality in a fast-paced environment.
For a retail.
So when it comes to RestoreFX, they're perfect.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's good.
I like that.
So it's sort of I lean to it. So like, I'll be looking and it's like, line cook at Chili's. Come on in.
Let's go.
You ever go to a restaurant and eat dinner and you're like, I want to hire that guy because you have such good service.
Yeah. I've done that. Yeah. That's awesome. I'll start looking.
The problem is
I'm gonna start eating out a lot in the next couple weeks.
That should be all write-offs, right? I mean, every time now you're just prospecting is what you're doing. Write that off.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, the only problem with salespeople is we get bored easy, where it's like, I'm very creative. Oh, this has been a great job. 6 months later, okay, I'm bored.
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah, very true. Good stuff. So Ryan Burr asked a question earlier before we started about a question that we get asked a lot. So I figured I'd throw him to the corporate answer. People are asking about, are we doing any sort? We're a national, even worldwide brand, but are we doing like national advertising or what's the RestoreFX? What's the situation on that so far?
As far as a brand, obviously we do some outreach and some marketing. We obviously take part in major events like MTE and SEMA as well as those. But as far as like a national marketing campaign at this point, no, we don't have any immediate plans for that. The predominant reason is we don't have enough of the map covered yet to allow a national campaign to be as effective as we would like. So, a perfect example that I used earlier is we don't have anybody in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah. So let's just say for whatever reason, the ad was very successful there and I got 6 inquiries to Green Bay. I'm going to have to send people off to other areas to try and get the car done. And there's nothing more frustrating than, getting somebody hot and excited to buy a product and then saying, hey, by the way, you can't have it.
Yeah. It's a state away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's almost quite literally the exact same problem I have. You hire more people or advertise first, basically, right? It's like the same thing, just a bigger scale, essentially.
Yeah, chicken or egg.
And the answer is hire more people, we get more shops, right?
Exactly.
But do you have any idea? What's the answer to like when is there enough pins in the map to do that? Is there an answer for that? I'm just curious. I have no idea. Do you have to have every metro city taken care of? Do you have to have 10 per state? Is it a population thing? I don't know.
No, it's not necessarily. Obviously, I'd love to say 500. But
right, yeah,
it's going to be having the major cities of every major state covered.
That's the minimum. It's got to be the minimum.
If you get an inquiry from like Santa Claus, Illinois, it is not expecting us to have a shop there, but we have one in the neighboring Evansville that I'm going to have to drive to go get it, and they don't mind driving a bit. But having the major cities done, Ryan's shop particular, we were just talking about it before, that, Baton Rouge and New Orleans, two of the biggest cities in Louisiana, don't have representation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you were in New Orleans, used to having everything you need within a half-hour drive of you.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I want to get Restore Effects. It's like, okay, you got to drive 3 hours up to Lafayette. They're like, wait, what? They don't want to do it.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Some will.
Well, that's on you, Ryan.
Lafayette people.
That's on you.
Lafayette people will drive to Baton Rouge because they're used to it. They got to go to the big city to get the big city stuff.
You ain't never drove over to Basin Bridge, boy. You ain't going to Baton Rouge, dude.
Really?
It'll take you 10 hours sometimes just to get to Baton Rouge, and it's only 45 minutes away.
Damn.
I mean, it's a
crazy.
bridge that goes over the swamp that has no exits on it, and 18-wheelers that drive like complete assholes.
We have a nice steakhouse chain called Baton Rouge up here. It's pretty good.
Sure, that's good.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's good stuff. So this is like the basically, the whole podcast on the retail sales side of things. Last time we talked, I think, pretty much about the wholesale side of things, and this was all
a lot
retail.
About
Is there, just a question popped in my head as I said that, is there any sort of in-person retail sales that we could do? I don't know.
Always.
What do you do? Like, have you done anything like that?
So,
you like going to other businesses? Are you going to detail or are you going to detail or wrap shops and talking to them? Are you doing like, what do you, I know
more importantly, are you not?
I am, the few that I know. I think it's an interesting conversation to talk to detail guys about it.
Yeah.
But the wrap PPF shops, I am for sure, because as far as I know, wraps can't be installed over like oxidized panels or anything like that. Super scratch up that'll delaminate. So I'm like saying, hey, you got these customers that want to hide all their shit, I just want to throw a sticker on it. Well, it doesn't stick unless it's clear coat.
Body shops are great. They paint 2 panels. Oh, now the rest of the car looks rough. Hey, can you guys buff it? Body shop techs don't want to buff. They don't get paid $24 an hour to buff cars. Yeah. So we get a lot of sublet that way. Right now, insurance companies are covering ceramic coats. So I'm friends with 4 body shops here that every time customers like, that was ceramic coated, they send it to me and I redo it. So I'm getting business through insurance companies that way.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
I did a couple like that. I did a couple like that. Yeah.
Car events. You're in Sacramento. Like, California is car capital of North America. There's a car show every day somewhere in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not partaking, if you're not participating, that's your number one way to talk to retail clients in person. Getting out to that type of stuff. There's always something going on. Local community events, farmers markets, county fairs, rib fests, classic car shows. There's millions and millions of very cheap and affordable ways to get out in front of retail buyers directly in your market. And it is miraculous how many people don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just don't. Like, I can tell you, like, there's a local classic car club called the Over and Under Club here. And I sponsor that every year. Costs me $300 for the year. And I get to do the pick of the night because I donated $100 in trophies with my logo on it. $400 for an entire year to get access to over 5,000 classic cars.
That's pretty, stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Local soccer teams, local baseball teams, those types of things. Obviously we got to be, if you're not out there putting yourself in that market and you're not marketing and you're not spending the money on marketing and you're not going to these events and you're not putting up a representation of yourself, but then you're going to sit at your desk going, man, why are we so slow?
Mm-hmm.
Just drive down the street and see the guys that did, because they're the ones getting the business. And I don't care if you're detail, I don't care if you sell vacuum cleaners. You need to be doing that. You need to get yourself in front of the people, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over while expecting different results, but yet we all do it. I call people that are like, we're really slow. I can't get any cars in the door. We're trying our best. Hey, have you heard about our marketing program? Yeah, we don't want to do that yet. I don't think we're ready for it. Have you gone to any dealers? Yeah, they said no. Is there a car show in your area? Oh, there was one last weekend. Oh, were you in it? No. I just drove by.
Just stuff like that. So you didn't do anything. Yeah.
So I can't come down and run your business for you.
Yeah.
I can just show you examples of how to get. But it's like, I had one person that I was going through all this with, and they were just slower and slower. And then they finally go, hey, have you heard of PPF? And I'm like, of course I've heard of PPF. And I think I'm going to sign up for it. And I'm like, how much does it cost to sign up for PPF? They're all, well, it's $10,000 for the machine and the material plus $8,000 to train my team. And then they recommend I do 15 cars to get practice. And I'm like, and you've still spent less than $1 on advertising your current business.
Yeah.
So now maybe you're going to have $25,000 worth of extra stuff that you've bought that you're still not advertising, and you're still not going to make money on. Like,
right.
I'm not saying don't diversify, but if you haven't built your first business, the only reason you diversify is because you have a massive load of clientele asking for it.
Yeah.
If you're diversifying in order to try and get clientele, then it's not the product that's the problem.
Maybe that's the title of the podcast. It's not the product. It's not the product that's the problem. With Ryan Kaye.
That's it. I like that.
Check for a small rattle from behind keyboard.
Well, thank you for my lessons, and I hope other people learn stuff as well.
Yeah,
it is the truth, though. It's like if you're not going to spend $1 on advertising, but you're willing to spend $20,000 on a new service, but not advertise it.
Yeah.
You know?
So I mean, to review. Get hands off. Like I called Ryan Brewer before I opened up the Restore Effect Center, and now Ryan and I talk to a lot of other people, and we give them the same advice. Don't do it by yourself. Like go in with a hire in mind, at least. Or if like I had a hire in mind, I actually hired him and then brought him to training with me. That's probably the most ideal situation. If you can't achieve that, for some reason you go to training, you come back, and you don't. Your purpose is to hire somebody to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's like that's at the very minimum. So you got to be doing that. You got to either have somebody to sell for you or learn how to sell yourself. There's definitely ways to do the marketing through the Restore FX company. Even if you don't just run Facebook ads. You got to do Facebook posts too, which there's a bunch of different Facebook schedulers. You can find them. It's not, you don't have to do at night every dinner. You can section out 1 hour a week and do 12 posts or whatever. 5 to 10% is an amazing closing rate for online advertising. And the add to cart option, which I like. I always called it assumptive close, but it's more, it's more 2023 to do add to cart option because that's what it is.
Right.
Ooh, add to cart. And then now every company will remind you, hey, you forgot about the shit in your cart, dude. I love those ones.
Yeah.
That's like every company now. I'm like, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, they're right. I did forget about that. I kind of want it. They get you sometimes. They make you come back.
Yeah.
You know, I bet 5 to 10% closing rate on those emails is pretty high for them too. It's like, hey, you forgot about this. I bet.
Yeah. And it's scheduled through a CRM. There's not actually a human being.
No, yeah, for sure. It's just done for you. Yeah. 24 hours after they added to cart and didn't fulfill the purchase, send them this email. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
30 days after that, send them 5% off.
Yeah. So no, seriously. Yeah. So true though. So true.
Yeah.
I've done that before. I'll put some add to cart, wait 2 days, and like, hey, come back and we'll give you 10% off.
There's a buddy of mine back in high school, just after high school, and he moved to Toronto here with me. And this was in the early 90s before everyone had a computer in their pocket.
Yeah.
And he would drive around. He'd go to like Best Buy and Future Shop, and he would buy all their end of model stuff, like dirt cheap, the stuff that they were getting ready to just wholesale. So he'd buy like 30 DVD players and 5-disc changers and stereo. Yeah. And then he'd put them into this big white nondescript van and drive around the city and stop in random places and pop the back and be like, hey, buddy, you want a CD player? You want a CD? And he would sell all of it within hours under the premise that it's hot. It's completely legit business.
You couldn't, looks shady.
But because people had that instant, I have to make a decision now. It's not like I can call him tomorrow. So they made the decision right on the spot to buy it and take off, thinking that they were getting this huge savings. So, you know, that having that value is always a good thing to do at the last minute too. If you got somebody in there that you know is just sitting on the edge, give them that whole, you know what, like I just had a guy cancel for tomorrow.
I was just gonna say that.
I'll give you $50 off if you want to bring him tomorrow, right? Or whatever it is.
If I have an opening tomorrow or maybe even the next day, it's always because someone canceled.
Yeah.
100% of the time. Because mostly I'm booked out 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Sometimes I'm not though, or someone did cancel or whatever happened. So if it's like, you know what? Actually, if you can fill this spot tomorrow, then I can do this for you. Because I don't want it to go open,
Yeah. Like I'll probably fill it anyways, but at least this way I can guarantee it's closed and you get a bit of a deal.
Yeah.
And then they'll make that appointment. They'll be like, I got to take advantage of this now.
Shoes, one-time offer. Yeah, one-time offer.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
you think about it, you would go fill it with a wholesale spot, and then you're losing a lot more than $50.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that came, he was trying to sell window cleaning to me, and he did a great job on all the sales pitch, broke my concentration, made me laugh, talked about his haircut. It was awesome. But at the end, he goes, and the deal today is that you don't have to pay a transportation fee. I'm like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And he left. And I'm going, he had everything except for that one thing, the value. So when you put it's a 10% discount, 10% of what?
Yeah.
Put a value on it. Tell somebody what they're saving. $50, $100
dollars wise,
Exactly. I'm gonna.
People don't want to do.
Which is
people can't do 10% of 900 in their head.
Yeah.
No.
Some people probably can't.
800.
You're saving almost $100.
Yeah. But it's just give them a value, and then they can actually, that means more to them. When you say $100 or you say 10%, one sounds like a big number, one sounds like not very much.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
when you're adding factors on PDR, you do 25% more. You don't want to give them the dollar amount of that. When you're taking money off, you do a dollar amount. I've learned that over time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The body line just adds 25% extra. Okay. Yeah. That sounds reasonable, but not like
car dealers.
It adds $125 extra. Oh man, that's like almost.
That's how car dealers do it. Take the smallest number in the negotiation and focus on that one.
Yeah. Talk
Ryan,
about
great
the
news. It's only a $30,000 difference between your trade and this new truck.
Yeah. Oh man,
smallest
that's funny.
Number approach.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, fantastic. Well done once again, Ryan Kaye 2.0.
Yep.
Another fun time had by all.
Yeah.
And a podcast that went way longer than we anticipated.
Well, we started late.
Somebody was on the back nine.
What'd you say?
It wasn't my fault.
Get out of here, dude. So I literally called Ryan Brewer. He didn't answer. Gave him 2 minutes, called him again, went straight to voicemail. Then I called his office. Then I called his manager, and I'm like, tell Ryan to get on the fucking podcast. That was fun times. Jared was a good dude. I could tell though. I liked Jared's
energy. His energy. Great. Yeah. We're gonna get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we will.
In all fairness, there's a 50-50 chance there was a hurricane rolling through. He just he could have been just hanging on to the shop for dear life.
Who knows?
We don't know what's going on.
It ain't even hurricane season yet. It's gonna be a bad one this year. I'm really, everybody's kind of skeptical on what it's gonna be like, but I think it's gonna be a horrible year. So
interesting. Well, if any hail is any indication of that.
I also would like to apologize to the entire Eastern Seaboard for the fires that have managed to make it all the way down to Jersey.
Dude. Why?
My wife just went to the Hamptons and she almost didn't get over there on the plane because of all the damn smoke you guys are putting off.
You guys.
Yep. It's we don't want to lie. It's actually a fumigation system that we're using to try and keep
just a huge.
It's working good.
I wish we would have did that on the border, man. That would have been great. If we would have did that over there on Mexico border, we would have been awesome.
That's pretty funny. Good stuff, guys. If you haven't reviewed the podcast yet, Masters of Recon, you can click on the little button, hit us review. If you like it, tell us. If you don't like it, don't tell us. Wait, can I say that? That sounds illegal. Go give us a review. We don't ask very much for that. So obviously we do this show for free. So if you guys want to give us a review, that'd be fantastic. And if you want to join our Facebook group, the Masters of Recon Facebook group, fairly active community off and on, but we do our best to cover all spectrums of what we can, all the different reconditioning services. So go check us out on there as well. What did you say, Ryan K?
For every 5-star review, Corey's going to give a 5% discount on the services.
5% off. You don't know how much it's worth, though.
I'm just not throwing my name out there because
well, you got to buy the reviews. You know, your reviews are doing good. You got a lot of Googles.
Yeah, I got the Google reviews for sure. But yeah, review the podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Master Recon Facebook group, and don't forget to, if you have a little extra money or have it in your heart to help somebody whose place burned down and has no insurance, go on there and do that. It's only Restore FX centers because you got to go onto the in-store thing, right? I don't think.
To buy the tickets, yes. However, if you did want to just donate money, you could email Olena, OLENA, at restorefx.com.
Cool.
And just give her your information and she can send you a receipt and you can just pay it online. And if you're just looking to make a donation, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to do that for you.
Cool. Yeah, but Restore FX Center is super easy. In your store where you buy your product and your sandpaper and your towels, there's a raffle ticket you can buy, and you can buy a couple of those. Okay, cool. Yep. Fantastic. Well, thanks for coming on, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Pleasure as always.
See you guys next time.